Welcome to day 6 of my 10-day challenge where I draw houseplants. This is what I'll be drawing today. It's a garlic bulb that sprouted on my counter, and so I planted it. Though I learned that the correct way to plant it is actually to separate all the cloves and put them in a dish of water. And I might still do that, but it seems alright where it is for now. But the nice thing about sprouted garlic is that you can trim off bits of the leaves and use them as microgreens. And then they grow back and basically replenish your microgreens, which is pretty nice. And they're also very nutritionally dense. So I definitely want to do more growing around the house. So this is one of the drawings that I put off a little bit because I needed to make sure I had enough time to do all of these leaves. I also needed the lighting to be reasonably good. Yesterday I left it too late, and so I had to draw in the dark, and I didn't want to do that for this one. For most landscape painting, the advice you get is not to draw every individual leaf, because that would take too long in a landscape painting, and also it might end up looking messy. And I agree with that advice, but I've also seen examples of people who don't follow that. For example, John Howe's paintings for illustrating the Lord of the Rings books. You can see examples where he's watercolored every individual leaf, and I find that appealing. For drawings like this, I kind of think of it as drawing a portrait of a plant, and so I like to do each leaf, and it's also just such an interesting visual phenomenon, because you have one leaf kind of passing behind another, and they cast shadows over each other, and when you first see it, it looks impossibly complex, but then over time, doing this a couple of times, I found that I can actually draw it even though it looks complicated, and so I try to do that every now and then to remind myself that even shapes that look too difficult to draw are things I can tackle if I kind of nibble at them slowly. Speaking of nibbling, I actually did nibble off a couple of pieces from these garlic greens. That's why you have those blunt edges on the distant leaves, and it was pretty good. It's got this kind of pungent, fresh taste. So I started filling in the soil here with some hatching. I do sort of feel like I overshot the mark, like the right amount of hatching was a bit less than I ended up doing. So it might be worth doing another pass on all of these drawings when I reach the end of the challenge, and maybe adjust some of the line widths and remove some of the background hatching, which one can do in Vector, which is pretty nice. So here's the drawing I made, and here's what I just drew. So that was day 6, and I'll have to decide what to draw next. So see you next time.